They're going to get scored on. The part that I like about what Miami has, they got small two guard, small power forward gifts. Lakers have center control. So big men
right now
versus
who you counting in that big man control?
I always say you control the center.
Who you counting?
I'm counting Paul Gasol. Wait a minute, Andrew Bynum if he comes to play. No, if he comes to play, because it's like look what the Celtics did. Nobody expected. They didn't expect them to go to the championship. They thought it really was going to be Orlando.
Oh, yeah, right.
They did, because they said this man in the middle is a beast, and that was one man. We still haven't had the Lakers a center healthy. Not yet. Not since 2008.
It depends how you count that, because you keep counting Bynum.
Yeah, just like I keep counting. They count Garnett for the last couple of years, but he's been on a what?
Well, Bynum has, to me, yet to have one of those times.
Right.
So that's the reason why I don't count him.
Right.
If he had at least one full season, a performance without injury, then I would feel differently. But since he really hasn't.
No, I think the Miami Heat are going to the championships. I think they're going to win championships.
I think it's going. I'm rooting for the Thunder.
They got a chance. Because everybody knows that.
Well, at least I'm a root for them.
Hey, look, at the end of the day, everybody tells you, what do you lack in this league? You don't lack point guards. You don't lack two guards. You don't lack small forwards. But you do have an absence of strong power forwards and producing centers. And whatever team has that makes it complex for Miami Heat. Who is going to match up with Lamar, Gasol, and Bynum on Miami? You got one Bosch. And that's it. And Bosch doesn't play.
There's some people that's to be seen. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It'll be. I actually want to see the Celtics go against that, and I actually want to see Orlando come, because Orlando's going to try to retool in some different ways too now.
I agree. I think. And look,
it'll be interesting.
I'd rather see Miami there than another Boston Celtics Lakers.
Right. It's not a walk away though. It's not like people are trying to act like no. It's like the Lake and again, like you say, we have other examples.
Yeah.
When you've done this, it's not a walk away because it comes down to that chemistry.
That's true. Okay, I got to speed on because I went long. I want to actually show you guys something real quick. It's called Do You Believe? We're going to run through this real quick.
Man tits.
Yeah, well, it's Do You Believe? And the example of this is, here's the man who's the underdog sitting right there in front of you, and you're dwarfed by the giant. Do you believe the little man can win? Well, that all depends. That's an example. I'm not saying it's true.
Depends on the sport.
I wouldn't want to be in that ring. No, I wouldn't want to be in that ring with
it. It just depends on what the rules are. If they change the rules, it might be.
Yeah. Okay, here it is real quickly. Pittsburgh's Ben Roethlisberger. Do you believe will lead the Steelers to the Super Bowl? Yes or no?
I think the Steelers have a good chance against us. I don't know if you see. I don't like the leading. Obviously, I think the Steelers will lead Ben to the Super Bowl.
Okay, you answered the question. You said no. He said no.
In other words, you know what? He's playing it right, Vic, because they prove Mike Thompson. They just look so good with what they have.
I got you.
That's too bad. Too bad that makes it a negative to come back, because everything you have to worry about is how not to mess up the chemistry.
Right. I'm only saying. I think it's fair playground. If you say Tom Brady, Peyton Manning will lead. I'm gonna say Ben Roethlisberger should lead. He either leads or he doesn't.
That's right.
Second one. Do you believe New York Jets' Mark Sanchez has played above expectations and are the best team in the AFC? Yes or no?
No.
Then you got problems because the statistics is bearing it out.
I don't think they're the best team yet. I think they could be.
Who is?
New England.
Oh, no.
Well, you know what?
You're taking a chance.
No, I am taking a chance. I just say that even though that they got beat, I think you got to be really cautious as you move through the season. I think they are proving they're gelling, and the Jets have to keep it up. I'm rooting for the Jets, but I think Miami is better.
Right.
You know, remember before the season, I thought Miami was the one in the AFC.
Everybody picked Miami, but what they didn't expect is what I thought everybody was fearful of, and he's gone way beyond because he's thrown I mean, his quarterback ratio and what he's done is produced above expectations. Because coming out of last year, they said, hey, man, he was terribly woeful when it came to throwing interceptions. That's Mark Sanchez.
Right.
He's coming out this year. They said when they watched that last game against Buffalo.
I agree. I like him. I just hope he can keep it up, and I don't know.
Well,
I tread lightly. I sit there doing one of these because I it's like the way I felt about Vic. I just was treading lightly. Yes, yes, he did do it, but every day, every game, I was waiting for him to mess up.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say, got to give it to LT too. There's a lot to do with that too.
Yes, yeah, LT coming together. They got 3 players that's going to come back in the lineup. That's Darrelle Revis and a couple others who's coming off an injury. So the team that's already killing everybody right now because they're getting progressively better. I say as a team, as a whole, to me, they are the best team right now in the AFC. Whether it's next week or week after, saying right now.
It's hard though. It's just that I think that New England is showing you, to me, the change as they're like one of those guys say, watch out for them. He's going to make them better and better as they move through, and I think he's already showing that now.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go to the next one. Do you believe Mario has the solution to turning around the Raiders working with Al Davis, the owner?
Yes, I do have. Yes. I do have the secret.
Working with him.
You crank the bed up really high. You crank his bed up to about 6 feet in the air.
Okay.
And then you wait for him to get up to go take a leak in the middle of the night. Boom! Boom! And then at that point, as you hear the crash, you know that the Raiders have a chance.
So that's working with Al Davis, right?
Yes.
That's cool.
It's like,
all right.
All it takes is an ER visit.
Hey, you know what? An actor, and I can't remember, he was on one of the shows this morning, sports shows, and I cannot remember his name. He does voiceovers, and all I know is his last name is Warburton or something like that. And he made he said, look, I jumped off of the Raiders when Al did the thing of holding Marcus out.
That's when I jumped off.
He jumped off. He said he traded off winning the excellence and the tradition for being something personal for a man and preventing him to move on with his legacy. And I've never gone back. And he actually said,
"That's you and I talk about
the Raiders to lose.
Yes,
not because the players I want to lose.
I won't go that far.
The ownership has to." He said the same thing. When he's gone, he'll root for the Raiders.
Okay, we have to throw another piece in there out of fairness, even though time tends to make things more or less significant.
What is that?
Part of the reason why black folks have embraced the Raiders all these years, and Al Davis specifically, is that in those times coming up, he was one of the first who was willing to showcase black African-American players and also use them in positions that they were typically not allowed to play in the NFL. That was part of why we embraced him. Now, of course, people argue about the relevance, Vic, but for the longest time, that was why Al Davis has so much love in the community,
right?
Because he was known for that.
He went to me from this: a trailblazer, a legacy man who knew how to formulate a business strategy that would enrich the NFL. He did it in such a way that no one has come second to that as it relates to what he accomplished. Now, once he went from being a NFL football man to a businessman trying to get into controlling where the Raiders go, LA, back and forth, I said, you lost perspective. You gotten old. Now you want to sit back and try to champion yourself in the business environment, which has now gotten you nothing but the last 10 years of losing.
No, he's pulled a Mel Gibson. He pulled an MG. That's what we call it now.
Okay.
He pulled a Mel Gibson.
All right. You're right.
And that's why we want to crank the bed up to about 6 feet in the air.
I got you. I know. All right.
You know, you want to put the mat, you want to sprinkle a little water on the floor. You need him out of the way. Okay. You need him out of the way.
Okay. Do you believe, and this is dealing with the Tour de France, winner Alberto Contador had 8 times the allowable amount of chemical called a plasticizer or plasticizer. You tell me, Mario, because you're familiar with this, which is found in plastic IV bags. What was Contador's reason for the detection?
His heavy use of condoms.
Wait a minute.
Unlike this old folks, he uses his condoms, and the plastic had somehow caused a reaction.
So it's not overkill in eating chicken McNuggets.
No, it's overkill in eating the condoms.
It's not Alberto Contador was excited about climbing the mountain the night before the race.
Climbing the mountain, having sex with Roseanne?
or is it the reason that we all believe? Everyone else gets juice and paid, why not me?
There you go, that's it.
That's it.
That's the actual reason.
I'm done. Sports is over. I'm done. That's it. I'm sorry we went long, but we don't go wrong. We just go
He's
long.
done,
Right.
and I'm Mario. And that was New Sports.
You're wrong,
when
man.
they're sporty
You're wrong.
and stinky and sporty and stinky and running around in jock straps and sweaty nuts and sports bras. And girls better get some Lotrimin cream, too. Oops.